Hey guys, Hecon's here again with another World of Warcraft gold making guide. Someone commented on one of my videos that they wanted to see one for enchanting, and since my main has enchanting and tailoring, and I feel the most comfortable talking about these professions, I thought this would be a good first crafting profession gold guide to make. In this guide we're going to be discussing gold making techniques for both current Legion content as well as with old world content and recipes. We're going to be taking a look at how to get our materials for as little as possible to lower our cost basis and maximize our net profit, and hopefully make some gold as we make this guide. So getting our materials for as little as possible is going to be the crux of our gold making strategy. That's because as enchanters, we have so many ways in which we can get our enchanting mats, whereas the other crafting professions are limited. So the main reason for getting our mats for as little as possible is that it gives us bigger margins and a bigger bottom line gold profit. More importantly, that margin is going to protect us so that we're less susceptible to big price swings in the market, and it's also going to give us a competitive edge over the competition. So to start, let's explore some ways in which we can get our materials for cheap. Before that though, we should check the prices of our enchanting materials on the auction house so we have some sort of benchmark. This is basic, but generally speaking, with the World of Warcraft expansions, we usually have three main reagents that we have to worry about: a dust, a shard, and a crystal. In Legion Enchanting, those are Arcana, Leylight Shard, and Chaos Crystal, respectively. We can see that currently on my realm, the Chaos Crystals are going for around 467 gold each. The Leylight Shards are going for around 84 gold each. And you should also check the price of Arcana. These are usually around 30 to 45 gold each on my realm. But at this point in the video, I decided to ignore it since the first enchants we're going to be taking a look at are the neck enchants which don't use the Arcana as part of the recipe. The best and least expensive, it's actually free, method to get Chaos Crystal is going to be running mythic dungeons or raids, and to disenchant any gear you do not need, or to complete world quests that reward epic quality loot. Bear in mind that your personal eye level for world quests has to be high enough for the rewards to be epic quality, or purple. One thing to note, crafted epic items do not guarantee a Chaos Crystal, only a chance at one. These methods only require time commitment, and if you're running mythics with friends or whatever anyway, it's a good steady source of Chaos Crystals. However, for the purposes of this guide, since the prices are currently favorable on my server for what we are going to be using them for, and because I don't want to make this video hours long and show myself farming Chaos Crystal, I'm just going to simply buy out the auction house for all of the crystals that are under 500 gold. This is the most obvious way to get materials. Simply purchase them off the auction house. While this may be the easiest, it usually isn't going to be the most cost-effective method. One trick that I was using at the beginning of the X-Pack to amass Chaos Crystal was to craft item level 765 Silkweave Gloves or Hood with tailoring for a chance at 775 item level epics, which would guarantee a Chaos Crystal. Unfortunately, this method no longer works as it was hotfixed in early October, and now you only have a small chance to disenchant a crafted epic into a Chaos Crystal. Still, this is one trick worth mentioning because it's a great way to make your own Leylight Shards and on occasion Chaos Crystals. If the prices of these enchanting materials are more than the cost to make an item that disenchants into one, then it's worth crafting than disenchanting yourself. For example, Shaldorai Silk is currently around 6.5 gold each on my server, and I actually ended up buying them all out at this price for this video. Currently, the cheapest recipe that I have in tailoring which produces an item that will disenchant into a Leylight Shard is the 3-star Silkweave Bracer. This takes 9 Shaldorai Silk and 1 Runic Catgut, which is just an item that we can purchase off the vendor. That means that it costs us around 60 gold to craft a bracer, and that we should not purchase any Leylight Shards that are over this price. We can even take this one step further and say that we should not purchase any Arcana over 20 gold each, because enchanters get a craft called Ley Shatter, which allows us to convert 1 Leylight Shard into 3 Arcana. Conversely, as an enchanter, we should consider purchasing items off the auction house to disenchant if the purchase price of that item is less than the expected value of the mats we get from that disenchant. This brings us to our first method of making gold as enchanters. As an enchanter, we're able to purchase an underpriced item off the auction house, disenchant it, then use the mats we get to make our own enchants, or to simply flip on the auction house. Additionally, each time you disenchant an item, you have a chance to receive a Blood of Sargeras in the same manner that a gatherer would from their profession. This means that buying an item to disenchant, or crafting an item to disenchant, should be your go-to method for getting enchanting mats, rather than buying the Arcana or Leylight Shard off the auction house. So the two types of items that we are interested in are, first, Legion level green items. They should be item level 680 or higher, which will disenchant into between 2 to 4 arcana, or on average 3 arcana per item when you mass disenchant these. Second, Legion level blue crafted items, which will always disenchant into 1 Leylight shard. We may also be interested in Legion level purple or epic crafted items if they are low enough in price. Most crafters will list these for a higher price than the blues due to the item level difference, but as an enchanter we are not interested in these, unless it is close in price to the cheapest way we can acquire a Leylight shard. We do have a small chance to get a Chaos Crystal from the disenchant. It is worth substantially more, but the odds are against us, roughly 10% from my experience, and it is much better to value these epic crafted items the same as the rare or blue crafted items. Now that we've covered how to get our mats for the cheapest possible, purchase some Chaos Crystal off the auction house, and disenchanted items for Leylight shards and Arcana, we're going to get into the biggest source of gold for the enchanting profession, that is, selling the enchantments themselves. So the first ones we're going to be taking a look at are the neck enchants, which are the big ticket item in Legion. We've discussed all the ways we can get our mats inexpensively, and now we're going to talk about the most efficient use for them, as well as comparing our cost basis, expected net proceeds, and ultimately our expected profit. Thankfully, the prices of all the neck enchants in Legion are the same price at their respective skill levels, so they're easy to compare side by side. However, remember that we have a new rank-based system for recipes that will lower the materials needed to craft each item. At rank 1, neck enchants cost 15 Chaos Crystal and 12 Leylight shards. At rank 2, they require 3 less Chaos Crystals to make. And finally, at rank 3, they cost only 12 Chaos Crystal and 10 Leylight shards. We bought each Chaos Crystal for around 500 gold, and we got each Leylight shard for around 70 gold, so we can use those numbers to calculate our cost of goods sold, if we were to make the recipe of that rank. We find that at rank 1, a neck enchant costs us 8,340 gold, at rank 2, 6,840 gold, and at rank 3, 6,700 gold. It's glaringly apparent that there's a huge drop in price once we hit rank 2, because of how expensive the Chaos Crystals are compared to Leylight shards. As it turns out, on my server, you would lose gold if you were to craft most of the rank 1 recipes, so we're going to stick to crafting only the 2-star and 3-star recipes that we have available. Okay, so we've crafted the 2-star and 3-star rank recipes we had available, 4 total, which were the Mark of the Distant Army, the Mark of the Hidden Satyr, the Mark of the Trained Soldier, and the Mark of the Ancient Priestess. We're back on my bank alt, and he's going to throw these up on the auction house before I go to bed, and hopefully one of them will sell overnight. It cost us around 6.7, 6.8k each to make, and we're going to be able to sell them for around 8 to 10k. The Ancient Priestess is the one selling for only 8k, but we should still see a small profit on it even after the auction house cut. We will see a substantial profit if we sell either the Distant Army or the Trained Soldier for 10k. To add, we were careful about only crafting one of each enchant. The prices can be volatile, and we do not want to have too many of our mats in the same enchants. We're planning to eventually use the extra mats that we had left over to craft the Binding Ring enchants as well as the Binding Cloak enchants. The reasoning behind this, making many different types of enchants to sell, has to do with systematic versus unsystematic risk. And without delving too much into the theories behind finance, it's the same reason why your financial consultant or broker might tell you to have a diversified portfolio. Okay, so it's been about a day, and unfortunately none of the 4 enchants we had up on the auction house sold. The reason might have been that I didn't get a chance to get on this morning to undercut and relist all of my auctions. However, we're going to make some more enchants to throw up on the auction house and hopefully capture some sales. It's the beginning of the week, so it's the perfect time to list. One opportunity I found tonight were these Legion hand enchants to speed up mining, herbalism, skinning, and surveying. They cost only 1 Leylight shard to make, or 70 gold each, and are selling anywhere from 130 all the way up to 400 gold. The Boon of the Scavenger shoulder enchants are only selling for 124 gold, and they take 2 shards to make, so we're going to hold off listing the enchants that we made. I'm going to let my bank alt list some of these hand enchants and go to bed. So this is day 3. We managed to sell a couple of enchants and 2 BOEs during the day today. One was the Trained Soldier enchant for 8k, or 7.5k after the auction house cut. It cost us around 6.7k to make, so we made around 800 gold from that. We also sold an Herbalism hand enchant for 400 gold, so an easy 300 gold profit there. A non-enchanting related side note, we also managed to sell 2 plate BOEs for 32k and 50k, which I made double or triple my gold back on. Flipping BOEs deserves its own video, so I'll make one eventually. Good morning, so it's about 6:30 a.m. on Wednesday. I saw that the heavy hide enchant was up to 10.4k today. I don't know the drop rate on these, but I got the 2-star rank recipe to drop in about 15 minutes of farm. We can now craft these for 6.8k and hopefully sell one for the 10.4k current market price. I saw there was also a lot of gold making potential with the binding enchants for both rings and cloaks, so I made one of each of the cloak enchants as well as 2 of the ring enchants. We're gonna hop on Moolah and list all the auctions. Also, there's a lot of stuff I wanted to cover in this guide, but I'm gonna have to segment these guides into parts so they don't end up being too long. You guys should see part 1, this guide, up Wednesday evening, and I'll roll out a follow-up part 2, perhaps even a part 3 in the coming weeks. These future guides will cover anything we didn't go over, which is actually quite a bit, as well as my final results once the enchants finally sell. If you'd like to be notified when these videos go up, or others by me, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. So I'm going to do a brief recap of where we are with the auctions, specifically what we have on the auction house currently, how much we spent, and what sort of return on investment we're looking at with the current price level. So as of Wednesday morning, we have 1 of each type of the binding cloak enchants, 2 of each of the binding ring enchants, 4 neck enchants, which are the heavy hide which we made this morning, ancient priestess, hidden satyr, and distant army. The Ancient Priestess enchant is the only one we don't have listed right now because prices are unfavorable. The current auction listing buyouts are listed next to the enchantment name. To make all of these enchants, I spent 49.5k total for the first 99 Chaos Crystal and 14 shards. Since we needed more Chaos Crystal to make all of these enchants, 116 total to be exact, I sniped 17 more Chaos Crystal for the low price of 400 gold each. In total, the ring enchants took 50 Arcana each, or 400 between the 8 that we made. The cloak enchants took an additional 90 Arcana, since each one requires 30, so 490 altogether. Since we used Ley Shatter to get our Arcana from shards, we used a total of 164 Ley Light shards, 150 of which we haven't accounted for yet. In addition, we add the 46 shards for the neck enchants, for a total of 196. At 70 gold each, this is 13.7k gold. Finally, each cloak required 2 bloods or 6 total. If we add all of this up, and I've done my math correctly, our total cost of goods sold is 70k plus 6 bloods. With the current auction house price of the enchants, we can expect around 115k gold, or 110k after the auction house cut, or a 40k net profit on an initial investment of 70k gold. But as I said earlier, I will provide the actual results in a future video. So in making this guide, I wanted to share with you some of the strategies you should be employing, as well as the mindset you should have when trying to make gold with enchanting. Over time, from simply playing the game, you can farm the mats yourself if you choose to make a nice chunk of gold on a daily basis. Please expect part 2 to be out in the next couple of weeks. And if you made it this deep in the video, thank you very much for watching and listening to me ramble. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. It's fast and free and helps out the channel a lot. Have a great week in WoW and life. I'll see you guys in the next video. Late.